البدء المباشر لمباريات اليوم. توتنهام هوتسبير متعادل مع ليفربول 0-0 في كأس كارباو. أتلتيكو بلباو متأخر أمام برشلونة 1-0. دوري الشمال البرازيلي آسيا ASA متعادل مع جوارتسينيس وتيريزي بي متعادل مع فيريفيرو. توتنهام هوتسبير ليفربول 0-0. ليفربول الذي تعثر أمام مانشستر يونايتد 2-2. تشكيلة الفريقين: تشكيلة توتنهام هوتسبير: كينسكي، بورو، دراغويشين، جراي، سيبنس، بيرغفال، بيسوما، بنتانكور، كولزيفسكي، سولانكي، سون، هينغمين سون. ليفربول: أليسون، برادلي، كوانسا، فان دايك، تسيميكاس، جرافينبيرغ، ماك أليستر، صلاح، جونز، جاكبو، خاكبو، جوتا. مدرب أرني سلوتس. زين نبحث عن المباراة. تسجيل مباراة نصف نهائي كارباو ذهاب. أتوقع فوز ليفربول 3-1 أمام فريق الدجاج، فريق توتنهام. بالمناسبة فريق توتنهام يقدم أداء جيد في البريمير ليج هذا الموسم ويقدم عروض جميلة. إصابة في صفوف توتنهام رقم 8. في المباراة الأخرى برشلونة متفوق على برشلونة متفوق على أتلتيكو بيلباو في كأس إسبانيا. جبتكم ماتش.
Yeah, he's gone back down on his back now. I think he was sitting up at one stage, Scott, and there is still a real problem for him, I think. And the 5 stretcher bearers are just trying to orchestrate sliding the gurney underneath his body to lift him onto the stretcher.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they've got a mask on him as well, an oxygen mask.
The binoculars are coming out here, and it does look, yeah, he has got an oxygen mask on. He is, well, they're moving him, so he must be stable. They wouldn't be moving him if he wasn't. But there is an oxygen mask on Rodrigo Bentancur, who's surrounded by 7 medical staff now. The referee just trying to push the players away. Porro is the closest Tottenham player to it. They slid the 2 yellow halves of the stretcher underneath his body. They're going to try and pick him up and put him onto the more stable structure of stretcher, the blue plastic stretcher, which is just in front of him. But this is a concerning situation.
Yeah, Ange Postecoglou just looking to his staff and saying, do you know what happened? I think it looked like the body language of one of the staff was saying it just looked like he collapsed. Johnson, it looks like he's about to come on as well.
Brennan Johnson, I think, will come onto the field of play, and that means a slight change with Kulusevski going into midfield. I mean, I'm looking at the demeanour of the Tottenham players, and they are concerned, but I think they're confident that he's okay.
Yeah, they're okay. Their body language, definitely. They're not even around him anymore. They're almost trying to keep fit.
Solanke's warming up, isn't he? Trying to get himself moving again. Same with Porro and 1 or 2 of the others, just making sure they're going through the paces. Lucas Bergvall's just gone over to look over the heads of the medical staff just to check on the prognosis. I don't think we're going to get that for a while. Kulusevski's just walked over and leapt into that huddle which is surrounding Bentancur, who is still lying on the ground. He's back flat again. I think to head the ball at an awkward angle and landed badly. Ange Postecoglou is just having a word with his coaching staff. Brennan Johnson now about to come on, but it has just sort of pierced the atmosphere inside the stadium as well. And there's obvious concern for a player who is incredibly popular and incredibly useful.
Yeah, and he's obviously not been the hand on, is it? He's been banned, he's been suspended, he's had injuries, and just when he looks like he wants to try and get a run in the side, this happens. So first and foremost, we certainly hope he's going to be okay. Interesting that it's Brennan Johnson coming on, and we talked about the strength and depth of both teams. That Liverpool look a lot stronger. I'm not sure ideally he'd want to bring on Brennan Johnson, although we know that Kulusevski's played exceptionally well as a 10 this season, but then it's him and Bergman as well.
Well, interesting. If Johnson does come on, it means that he's going to play further up on the right-hand side, and Kulusevski will play just a little bit deeper the weekend. But I mean, this has probably been going on for 7 or so minutes now, and that means we're going to have a considerable amount of added time at the end of the game. Just watching Brennan Johnson just warming up on the touchline, still going through his paces. A few of the other players now just sort of trying to keep warm. Alisson is jumping up and down inside the 6-yard box. Let me tell you what else is happening, because this is not the only game that's taking place. In Scotland, in the Scottish Premiership, looking to further extend their lead at the top of the table. They're already leading Dundee United by a goal to nil. and increasing their gap over Rangers. And tomorrow morning, TalkSport brings you the TalkSport breakfast show. Every single morning, we are giving you the superstar breakfast with some great names, including the likes of Alan Brazil, Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoy. And tomorrow morning, Everton's Ashley Young and his son Tyler on together ahead of what will be a dream game for the family as they host Peterborough United Everton. And on Friday breakfast, Alan Brazil and Ray Parlour are going to speak to Salford boss Carl Robinson on how he plans to create history against Manchester City.
Good lad, Carl.
Yeah, good talker. Just having a little look at what happened here with Rodrigo Bentancur. Well, he went to head the ball and just sort of landed flat on his face, didn't he? He went to sort of glance the ball and landed flat on his face.
He did, and it looked, you can understand, as the corner came in, he's tried to almost flick it on. It's landed horribly.
It was like a belly flop, nosedived into the floor, wasn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully it's nothing more than it being very windy. But certainly, it's almost just dived into the floor.
Well, he's being taken off here on a stretcher. Just having a look now, he's got a blanket draped over him. There is an oxygen mask on his face. He's been taken down the tunnel immediately, and I imagine that he will be straight off to hospital to be assessed. And you can only hope that that injury and that problem, and he's just moved his right arm to touch up to his face, so at least he's conscious. Hope that injury is nothing more than, well, certainly not as serious as it looks. Here's Song with the corner as we get back underway, straight into the arms of Alisson. Of course, all that matters now is that he's okay, first of all.
Yeah, and it's almost, because his head went into the floor, then you're worried about his neck. So yeah, fingers crossed he's okay. That's the most important thing.
Best wishes to him. Liverpool have the ball on halfway as we reset with 15 minutes in. I can't tell you how many minutes that was, but it felt like about 10, I think, roughly, from the incident. Silikas has it out towards the far side, and Liverpool on the attack inside opposition territory.
What is important is that they do keep themselves nice and warm, because obviously in January it's a cold night. When you stand around for 10 or so minutes, and it did feel around about that, it's very easy, the muscles can just start to tighten up a little bit, and then if you go for a sprint, suddenly there's a tweak there.
Yeah, and Tottenham don't need any more injuries. You know, the fact that Bentancur is now unavailable for them is another problem for Ange Postecoglou, and I think he will, I'm sure, point that out a little bit later on when we get to speak to him on Talk Sport. You'll hear those in the sports bar. Here is Bradley on the near side, the right for Liverpool. Back into Salah. Salah playing the ball against Spencer on this near side, and it's away for a throw and level with the edge of the penalty area.
And it was just where Spurs were getting on top as well, weren't they? Certainly creating a few chances. Liverpool a little bit sloppy, a couple of corners in there, so came at the worst possible time in more than one way for Spurs.
Here is the pass in from the right side, cut out by Basuma, who wasn't in the team at the weekend. A little bit short for Kulusevski. Quansah tidies up on halfway and nudges it all the way back to Alisson, away to our left. Just punctuates the rhythm of the game as well. It's going to take a little while, I think, to get back up to speed. There's been a few slips and sloppy bits of play already in the game, and everyone has to be a little bit concentrated now, because it does look to me as if everyone's been affected by that. Ball hoisted forward, Jota to chase. He's come out to the edge of his area and he's kicked the ball into the air and caught it. I mean, that could have been a real problem for the brand new goalkeeper Antonin Kinski, but he looked very calm and confident as he flicked the ball up into the air above Jota's head and then caught it.
No, too calm, too confident. I'm not having my goalkeeper doing that. I mean,
and then played an absolute weldy of a ball out towards Son on this near side. It's only just missed the South Korean.
Well, look, you know, he's been an ever-present for Slavia Prague, but haven't really touched on him yet, have we? £12.5 million on a 6-year contract. He's only 21. Could only have had a day or so, a couple of days training session in such a crucial position.
He's on the ball again. And one of the reasons he was hired was because Ange Postecoglou said, look, we were going to get him in the summer, but we realised our need was now, and we knew that he was someone who could come in straight away and make an impact. And he's got that personality. He's got the personality of someone who wants to play and make an impact in a big semi-final. He's passed the ball out towards Jed Spence. He's run over the halfway line for Tottenham, up towards Son on the near side. He's confronted by Bradley, and then back out to Spence left side. Tries to get around the outside of Bradley. Declined because it was on his left foot, and he's very right-footed, Jed Spence, and that makes a bit of a problem for Tottenham. And then it goes into midfield, and they look to build again. Dragosan, who had that great chance just before that incident involving Rodrigo Bentancur. The game was paused for about 8 minutes whilst he was being attended to, and it was Pedro Porro who spotted immediately that something wasn't right and called for medical attention, so big props to him. Here is Son on the near side, trying to lift the ball out towards the near touchline, looking for Bergvall. Has misplaced his pass, and Quansah has tidied up, and he gets it back to Alisson, who's immediately under pressure. Plays it square to Van Dijk, and Liverpool play out from the back.
Yeah, he didn't quite make enough of that save from Alisson. That was a really good first-time shot from Dragosan. Directed it well, and a fantastic save.
Just a delay on the pass from Diogo Jota stopped Liverpool from bridging the high line of Tottenham Hotspur as they pushed right up, and then Kinski again has just flicked the ball over the top of Mo Salah. He's going through the whole the bag of clubs there, isn't he?
Well, do you know what? One thing I can see, he's not scarred by wearing a Tottenham Hotspur football shirt.
Here is Porro down the right, played in by Johnson, tries to get across him. It's blocked over on that far side by Gino, who came back and covered Tsimikas, and it goes out for a throw on this far side, opposite the stand that we're sitting in. We're in the 5th tier here in this humongous bowl of a stadium, this futuristic venue, which is so comfortable for those watching, not comfortable for Liverpool here as the ball goes into the box from Kulusevski under mistake, but he can't reach Solanke, and it's cleared by Alisson.
This is, apart from the first couple of minutes, not a dissimilar performance. Liverpool than what we saw at the weekend. Not really getting hold of the ball. When they do, they're not passing it particularly well. Haven't really got that sort of full-on intensity in terms of the press that we've seen them this season. So it's definitely an opportunity for Spurs.
We'll take it with both hands. That is for sure. This time playing the ball wide towards the left-hand side. Archie Gray will pick it up. He sends it. Quansah will get there first. Kulusevski engages. The ball bounces finally for Gakpo. Quansah is dispossessed by Bergvall. And now they're at the skates. It's 3-on-2 if they play it right here, Tottenham. And also joining is Johnson, Bergvall and Son in the area. It's towards Son from Kulusevski, but he didn't get his pass right. Smacked off Van Dijk, who covered it, and it was cleared away. But Liverpool don't look right. Here's Son down the left-hand side, outside of Bradley. Low cross into the centre, looking for Solanke, and he's popped it up off himself, and it goes behind and away. Okay, he got in front of the goalkeeper at the near post there, Solanke. Tried to steer it in with his back foot, which was his left, and as he tried to drag it goalwards, it came up and hit him on the chest and went behind and away for a goal kick. But they're not right, Tottenham, are they? They don't look as in tune as they have done under Arne Slot.
No, Spurs are winning the individual battles at the moment. You just saw Bissouma just win that tackle in midfield. The ball came out to Son. He was able to a little step over and get across in there. Conor Bradley didn't stop it, and then Dominic Solanke just great. It's great forward play, it's great movement, just getting across the near post. But it almost got too far past the near post by the time he had to try and then flick it off, and he flicked it off one leg and hit the other. But no doubt about it, Spurs are on top. But when you're on top, especially against the side of the quality of Liverpool, you have to make it pay.
Yeah, certainly worth pointing out that Tottenham's first choice centre-back's not available again tonight. Romero, Van de Ven, first choice goalkeeper Vicario. They've all missed the last 7 games for Tottenham, and it's been a real struggle for them during that period. They've won only 2 of the last 11, no winning 4, but they've started this game well. Here's Spence trying to poke it through to Solanke, dispossessed by Van Dijk. They just haven't got that final ball perfect so far. Jota loses out to Spence, who shows his brute strength running left to right, picks it up far side, sends it back to Dragosan, and then he gives it all the way back to his goalkeeper, Antonin Kinski. Spurs playing out from the back again, 23 gone, but we have 8 minutes of delay whilst there was treatment for a serious injury to Rodrigo Bentancur. Alisson picks it up on the edge of the centre circle. Clips it long down the right. It's second header Wasn't great from Gray. By Salah, who sent it into Gakpo inside the area, gets it back to Salah, left footed towards the far corner, it's narrowly wide. Didn't catch that properly, Mo Salah. It was again a move that didn't work out perfectly for Tottenham. A long ball forward by Alisson, headed into the path of Jota by Archie Gray, and then sent by Salah to Gakpo, got the return, and then from the edge of the D, sent it well wide.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything of Liverpool going forward, but that's what they are capable of, and Mo Salah in particular. The numbers are brilliant, but at times he can be quiet, but then he just pops up a moment of brilliance, and it nearly happened there.
Here is Kulusevski, hasn't been quiet much this. The ball into the box, and was aiming to reach Brennan Johnson, but out come Alisson and took charge of what was a tricky situation.
Alisson is Liverpool's best player at the moment. Good save already. Came out, claimed that there. Outfield players just not anywhere near the Liverpool side we've been seeing so far this season. They're almost playing as if it is a two-legged affair, and then they've got the backup of Anfield, but can't afford to do that even against this Spurs side, who we know are very good going forward.
Well, Liverpool boss Arne Slot refused to point fingers after the United game, said that they were all disappointed about how they played, but he has made 4 changes tonight.
I just found it a really strange performance from the Liverpool side that have been just nothing short of sensational this season, up against the Manchester United side under so much pressure. But people were saying, well, it's not a question of if Liverpool will win, but by how many. The intensity just completely went. I don't really see it here tonight either.
One by Bradley as Archie Gray tries to play out from the back. Comes to the right side, and Salah, who's crossed into the box, is just a bit behind Jota. Watched by Porro. Came across and funneled it out on this near side, away for a throw-in level with the edge of the penalty area. Arne Slot, such a cool customer, the way he has allowed the contract stuff to slide off in, the way he deals with questions about Salah's comments or pictures on Instagram is impressive. He just ignores all the speculation and channels his energy into preparing the team. But you do just wonder whether or not that Liverpool have just started to experience a bit of slump in energy. They weren't at their best on Sunday, and they certainly haven't been at their best here in the opening 25 minutes. Here is Bradley, right full-back, up towards halfway. Again, it's easily cut out by Jed Spence, and there's a bit of more of a snap about Tottenham Hotspur. Bergvall into midfield, trying to play the ball back to Dragassi. Finds him, under pressure from Jones. Jones now trying to just rev up his teammates by leading the press. Immediately Bradley goes in behind Jed Spence. Jones wins the ball, and then the free kick is given against him. I'm not entirely sure that was as clear-cut as Stuart Atwell thought it was, but the free kick has been given on this near touchline. They're in a good space, Liverpool, in terms of being on the best unbeaten run they've managed for over 35 years, since a run of 18 under Kenny Dalglish in January to October 1989. Boy, did they have some players in that team, by the way.
Yeah.
Hansen, Grobbelaar, Whelan, John Barnes, Rush,
Beardsley,
Aldridge, Beardsley. Aldo got 31 goals in 88-89.
88-89, I think I might have played against him.
Yeah. That's probably why he got 31 goals.
Harsh but fair.
I'm joking, you know I think you were brilliant. Told you earlier, you gave me my favourite ever day in football. Here is Spence down the left-hand side, trying to twist away from McAllister.
I didn't play in the TalkSport Cup.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. There's only 2 idiots that were not professional footballers who started that game. And believe me, it was hard work.
Quickly makes a good 4-man wall. On his own.
Celtic lead Dundee United by a goal to 0. Here it's 0-0. We played 27 minutes. Now there's a problem for Jarell Quansah, who's gone down as the ball went out for a goal kick. Now he's got an issue, and he's sat down inside the 18-yard box, and he wants treatment. Ibu Konate has just gone running down the touchline to start his warm-up, and we've got another delay in this game. And actually the stop-start nature of it, I don't think has lent it to being a great spectacle so far.
No, I don't think it's lent for either side to show what they can do. I think Spurs, being at home, have been the better side so far, and certainly very nearly scored with that Dragassi chance. Great save from Alisson. I think on the front foot they've certainly been more so than Liverpool, but Yeah, it's been a very disjointed game so far, hasn't it? Obviously, the Bentancur incident didn't help, but even apart from that, no one's really got going as yet.
Armstrong just looking over to his coaching staff and asking for a bit of help and advice here. I don't know if he's winded here, Jarell Quansah, or whether he feels a little bit sick, but he's sitting up. Doesn't look as if it's a physical problem, does it? Maybe it is, I don't know, but Virgil van Dijk is sort of tapping his sort of midriff area as if to say that's what the problem is.
Yeah, he was sort of holding his ankles, so I thought maybe it was something there, but no, I think he was holding his ankles because he was trying to get his breath back.
He's not going to continue, you know. He's going off and he's going to be replaced by Wataru Endo. And we've got another change and another concerning moment. He's still down, and there are two medical staff with him. They're just going through the set pieces and the instructions on the iPad for Endo, who actually hasn't had much football this season. Interestingly, it'll be fascinating to see what it is they do here, who drops where, whether Gravenberch drops into the back line or whether it's Endo who goes and sits in there alongside Van Dijk. Yeah,
he's played as a half for Liverpool this season.
And that was in the earliest rounds of the League Cup. And he does indeed replace him. So it's Endo on and Jarell Quansah off. There's all change.
Interesting.
So a change of pace, forced absences in this first half here.
Interesting, not Canate.
Yeah, well, he was thrown in at the weekend after 6 weeks out, Scott, and that was a big call, I thought, at the time. Hadn't played since the end of November.
Well, he'll only be playing an hour tonight. Well, half an hour in a well, that's another
how much are they on now?
Yeah, true. 70 minutes.
Yeah, half an hour gone here, but we've had 8 minutes delay because of the injury to Rodrigo Bentancur, and further delay now because of the injury to Jarell Quansah. Endo is on and slotting into the back line alongside Van Dijk. So it's all changed for Liverpool, who are the cup holders. They are the Carabao Cup holders, but they haven't shown it so far in this game. Bergvall down the right-hand side, looking to try and get the better of Jones. Jones commits a foul, it's a free kick. He thought that was a little bit dramatic from Lucas Bergvall, the 18-year-old.
I want to see a bit more of Curtis Jones. I mean, fair to say, I don't think anyone played particularly well for Liverpool at the weekend, but he certainly didn't, and he's been quiet so far. I think the Tottenham midfield have been on top. Talk about winning your individual battles, and you're not playing well as a team. You just say to yourself, right, okay, the person I'm up against, I need to win my battle against him, and I don't think enough Liverpool players have done that. It's strange, isn't it, how going into the Man U game you're thinking this could be 4, 5, 6, you never know, and yet the last 2 games not been too good.
Alisson comes out of his goal and heads the long ball out over on the far side. Pedro Porro wants a free kick after a collision with Gakpo. He's not going to get one. It's going to be a throw-in on halfway. Yeah, there's been so many goals in Tottenham Hotspur games over the course of the last few weeks and months that you'd be surprised if there weren't more tonight. But it is 0-0. The last time that there was a 0-0 draw involving Spurs was March 2023, 82 games ago, when they drew with Milan here 0-0 in the Champions League. 35-1 it was for a 0-0 tonight. We're all sitting here thinking we should have put some money on it.
I wouldn't have put a pound on it at the start of the game. It's looking a very good bet. I doubt it's those odds nil.
Alisson sends the ball long, flicked on by Jota, away and into the air by Pedro Porro. Drops inside the Liverpool half for Van Dijk, and then on by Jones to Jota. Away from Bissouma once and tries to do so a second time. Bissouma agricultural with his challenge. That's a yellow card. He's dragged him down, and it's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, 15 yards short of the penalty area, just down the left side of it.
Well, we've not seen much of Jota either, but when he does get the ball, he does look so lively, doesn't he? Obviously, he's had his injury problems as well, and he looks sharp there and strong. Bissouma's come across him and stopped what could have been a very dangerous attack, so not surprised to see a yellow card there at all.
It's his 9th of the season for Yves Bissouma. Free kick then, which Tsimikas will take, and he does actually deliver a really good dead ball at his very best. Kostas Tsimikas, who hasn't started since Bonfire Night. Not Bonfire Night, no, definitely Bonfire Night tonight. 33 goals, 0-0. Here is Simicast to take a free kick. 12 yards outside the box, left side. Swings it towards the far post. McAllister with a free header, and he plants it straight into the arm of Dixie. I don't know what Spurs were doing with their defensive line, but no one watched McAllister. He had a free header, and he probably should have done better with it.
Oh, he should have done better. I mean, that is just so poor defending. It's just a simple ball in. It's a good ball in. But there's no way. You've got to touch tight. He's not the tallest, but he's decent in the air, McAllister. Should have done better.
Goalkeeper's done a Croyd turn inside the penalty area and then played it out. But it's been won back by Kulusevski inside Tottenham territory.
He's an edge goalkeeper.
He's definitely an edge goalkeeper.
We'll see if he can do this next couple of months. Things don't go so well, or he makes a few mistakes.
Well, he looks great so far. Here's Kulusevski trying to win the ball in the middle of the park. Goes all the way back to Alisson because he couldn't get it under control. He has having a little bit of a wobble now, playing out from the back. He has managed to get to Simicast. He's got it to Jones. Jones has shrugged off with a little bit of pressure and then won a free kick. Well, I think Simicast is getting the free kick over on the far side. One thing to note, as Gerald Ponce walked off the pitch just as he passed Arne Slot, it seemed like he was signalled that he was going to be sick or feeling unwell. That we'll about after the game when we speak to the manager post-match.
Well, that would make sense because, again, it looked like he kind of went down, and once he was down, there didn't seem to be a particular injury. It just didn't look right. So whether he's got a virus or felt extremely lightheaded, err on the side of caution.
There's been so much going around recently, hasn't there? I mean, a lot of football clubs are suffering with people not being able to feature because of it. Here is Gakpo over on the far side, trying to take it down the line. Eventually, the referee has said that the ball went out of play, even though everyone had played on, and it took ages for him to call it. 56% possession for Tottenham, 44 for Liverpool. 2 goal attempts, only 1 shot on target each, and one of those shots on target was that McAllister header. The other one was the effort from Dragusin, which was saved by Alisson. But apart from that, it's been pretty sedate. And for Tottenham against Liverpool, it's very sedate.
We didn't expect that, do we? I mean, the 2 top scorers in the Premier League, we thought it would be a really attacking game of football. You could say, obviously, what happened to Bentancur.
Yeah, but even before then, it hadn't really burst into life. Here's Salah chasing down the right side, trying to get the better of Archie Gray. He sort of almost won it in a difficult position, but Gray stood his ground and did really well, actually. Gets it back to Spence, and then Gray clips it forward, and then it comes off. Gravenberch and goes out for a throw on this near side of the left full-back position. I think they're asking players to do things that they're not comfortable with, and they're a little bit unfamiliar in terms of their positioning, but in that, Archie Gray is showing what a good footballer he is going to be in the future.
I mean, he is already, but I know exactly what you mean. He'll be dominating games in the Premier League, and all the time he's been played in different positions, left back, right back, centre back, when really he's a centre midfielder. Yeah, absolutely, he's learning all the time, but I know this seems strange to say.
Spence with a little drag back, tried to find Kulusevski, almost did, then it's given away, and Liverpool got it back again inside Tottenham territory. They send it forward up to Jones, back to goal, then into McAllister, pops it off to Jota, who's got a pocket of space in behind Basuma there, who did just about get hold of the ball. If he had mistimed that, he was bang in trouble because he's already been booked. Picked up by Solanke in the centre circle, tries to send it wide out to Johnson, who gets in a tangle with Simicast, who comes off the better. The drink moves into the left full-back position and guides it back to Alisson, and it remains 0-0.
Johnson wanted that ball in behind and used his pace. He's quicker than Simicast, and it was a poor pass. But it seems strange to say, but as Liverpool where they are at the moment in the league and the Champions League, but they didn't play well at the weekend. They're not playing well now. This is a 2-legged semi-final. I cannot believe it's not as if they're playing next week, so this bad form will continue. Bad form in inverted commas. Spurs really need to get something out of this game. They really need to turn, even though they have been the better side, find a way to make it 1-0 or even 2-0.
Yeah.
Because if it's a draw, even 1-0, I'd still fancy Liverpool in a month's time. Got to try and take advantage of this poor Liverpool play at the moment.
Liverpool have it deep inside their own half. What do you make of that gap between the 2 semi-finals, by the way? A month.
Yeah, well, it's obviously to do with Europe, isn't it?
Here on the left-hand side, the ball is with Gakpo, played in by Simicast, and then Jota sends it back to Simicast. It's not a good ball at all. He's completely overhit that. Hit it first time, and Simicast went running to try and keep it in, but he was never going to be able to do that. And it goes behind and away with a rather spooning effort from Jota out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. And Antonin Kinski immediately looks for the long raking ball to find Johnson. Tsimikas quickly readjusts to his position, heads the ball out over on the far side. It goes out for a throw in. Celtic 1, Dundee United 0, half-time there. Kilmarnock 0, Motherwell 0. That's the latest. And remember, later on tonight you'll be able to have yourself the sports bar on TalkSport 03717223344. And I will apologise to our listeners in North America listening on Sirius XM-FC if you were expecting a rambunctious thriller-minute helter-skelter ride. We were. We apologise. It's not been as exciting as we hoped. Here is Bradley on the near side, tussling with Spence. He's done well to win it, not once but twice, and then a real blood and thunder challenge between the two. And both really went into that with full gusto, no quarter given or asked. And the ball spilled off Bradley and went out for a throw-in. That was a good old battle.
Yeah, that was a good old-fashioned, old-school. Couple of players really going at it, using the physicality. Tough tackling, but not trying to roll around afterwards either.
39 gone. It's Liverpool who came here top of the table, Carabao Cup holders, top of the Champions League table, expected to sweep all before them tonight against the Tottenham team at a low end, but no winning 4, lost 11 games this season and 13 all of last season, but so far it's been pretty tepid affair. We've had 2 players had to go off with various problems. Bentancur went off after an incident inside the Liverpool penalty area, and then Quansah went off with sickness, we believe. Here is Kulusevski down the left-hand side, feeding Son in behind the defence, so he's just not quick enough to get on the end of it, and out comes Alisson and gobbles it up on the edge of the 6-yard box. And now Liverpool Bergvall is quickly across to put out the flames before they start to burn. It's won by McAllister, who put his body on the line there. Gakpo trying to escape, but Johnson comes back and sweeps his foot behind Gakpo and puts it out. And there's a little bit of a display of more commitment from this Tottenham team, digging in and trying to ensure that Liverpool don't get the better of them.
Yeah, and do you know what? Sometimes a good tackle can be as good as a fantastic bit of play going past a couple of people and a shot just wide in terms of getting the fans going. It's not as if they're quiet, but they haven't really seen too much to get excited about. But their team have been the better side, which a week ago you'd have said, sure they'd have been worried about this fixture, especially what happened in the league.
I played 40 minutes. You've probably got about another 15 minutes to play in this first half because of the injuries to Quansah, the problem with Bentancur, who went down the touchline on a stretcher wearing an oxygen mask after diving into the turf away to our left.
You know, we've not seen Salah at all, have we, apart from that one shot wide?
Nope.
Ed Spence would be delighted with, 1, how he's played it, but 2, how Liverpool haven't got the ball out in the midfield. Again, I talk about individual battles being won by Spurs. Curtis Jones being tackled, McAllister not being able to look up, being pressed.
He has been in that form though this season, Scott, but even when he's been on the periphery of a game, he'll then pop up and do something magical. 38 goal involvements and 27 appearances this season. 12 goals in his last 11 games. And he loves scoring against Spurs. 14 in 21 against them.
It's ridiculous numbers that he's got this season, it really is. I've mentioned to you before how he played against Michael Owen. I remember at Anfield, he must have only had about 5 touches the whole game. 2 of them went in the back of the net. We went home on the bus and what happened there? He didn't actually play that bad. But Mo Salah's a very different type of player, but even when he's quiet, it's a type of player you just cannot take off even if he's having a quiet game, because you know he's about moments. Again, Ruud Gullit, going back to our Chelsea days, used to say, I want my players to do 2 things in a game that can affect the game, and boy, he can do that.
Well, the ball is deep inside the Liverpool half of the field. They're just playing it across the back line, and then Endo has just swung his right foot through the ball. He came on for the injured or ill Quansah, and he sent it right out over on the halfway line. And that's pretty much summed up the 42 minutes we've had so far here today. Just 1 shot on target each from both these 2 teams. Top scorers in the Premier League. Very, very shy in terms of creating goal-scoring opportunities, both of them. Liverpool's defence, you would usually expect Tottenham to score. They've scored in 38 of the last 39 League Cup home games, going back to January 1999. The only time they failed to score was in the semi-final against Chelsea when they lost 1-0 here in 2022. Liverpool won the Carabao Cup that year, and they have a rich history in this competition. No one's won it more. Here comes Tottenham though, with Son. Dispossessed again, and then Jota tries to bring it clear, puts it through the legs of Basuma, and now feeds Mo Salah. A chance to break for Liverpool for the first time, and they've got numbers in this attack. Salah overruns it a little bit, but still feeds it to Gakpo, edge of the area. Tsimikas on the overlap, pulls through the 6-yard box, he couldn't find Jota. Bergvall got back in and filled in brilliantly, and sent it out to the far side, but that's the first real flash of Liverpool speed that we've seen. Here's McAllister, wandering towards the edge of the box. Kulusevski leaves something on it, free kick, 5 yards outside the penalty. And it's going to be a Liverpool free kick, about, well, I think it's probably going to be 7 or 8 yards back from the edge of the box, just wide on the left-hand side.
Yeah, it's a lazy tackle, isn't it? Just stuck his leg out. But it was really good play from Liverpool, fantastic counter-attack. Again, we talked about Salah, he's coming inside, getting involved. The ball went out to Tsimikas, who played a great first-time cutback. Bergvall, that's brilliant defending, helping out his defence, making sure Liverpool can't get in there, because it would have been a simple, almost tap-in, certainly a first-time shot straight at the keeper. Brilliant tackle.
He was good actually on tackle, Bergvall, and I think 1 or 2 people were a bit surprised when he came off midway through the game. He back in the team tonight. He's only 18 years of age, but I'll tell you what, he is another one, like Archie Gray, playing with the maturity above his years. Went to the last minute officially of the first half. Tsimikas with a free kick, left footed in towards the far post, and Archie Gray this time gets first contact on it. Basuma then tries to get it away. Tottenham now trying to get it up the pitch, but there's no one there, and it was overhit by Pedro Porro. Not going to get hold of that. It's going to go straight through to Bradley and then Alisson. Liverpool will turn the table on them again and start to come forward with Gravenberg. 0-0. They dealt with that set piece a little bit better than they did the last Tsimikas free kick.
Yes, they did. Dropped off when they needed to. Watch the ball, watch the man. And who was it? Archie Gray with a header.
8 start in a row for Archie Gray. He can't be playing out of position, but he largely emerges with credit. Alisson under pressure from Solanke, plays it square to Van Dijk, deep inside his own territory. You're listening to TalkSport. And we'd like to welcome our listeners from across North America on Sirius XM FC as we add 11 minutes onto this first half as we keep in mind. Here is Jones, midpoint of the Tottenham half. Went to try and play it out wide to the right. There was space for Salah, didn't decide to elevate the ball out to... And Tsimikas' ball is too heavy for Jones, and it goes out of play. Away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side.
Wow. Again, we've had quite a few passes that kind of sum up the first half. And you're right, he's looked up. On another day, would have pinged that out to Mo Salah. Perhaps the confidence not quite there, and it goes down the left. There's an overplayed pass from Tsimikas, and Liverpool just look really disjointed at the moment. As I say, it's Spurs who are not been in form, but they've really got to try and make the most of this poor play from Liverpool.
Well, they've given the ball away as they try to play out from the back, and Kulusevski, and then it's just got in front of Gravenberg, but across comes Bradley. Brilliant challenge by him. Wins it back, and again, Liverpool on the front foot. Again, they're just starting to grow into the game a little bit now, Liverpool, after really spending most of the opening 45 minutes that we've had, although we haven't played a lot of those minutes, on the back foot. But they're coming into it now. Tsimikas down the left, finding Gakpo cutting in and giving the ball to Jota going on the outside, then turning it back to McAllister. Salah on the back edge of the penalty area. Tsimikas has gone down the left, no one's gone with him. A chance cross away by Dragusin. And it's out of play on the far side and away for a throw-in level with the edge of the Tottenham penalty area.
Yeah, you're right, they have stepped it up just in the last couple of minutes. It's almost as if the lethargy has been thrown away, and okay, come on. We can have a good bit of passage of play, we can get our attacking players in, we can get the full-backs out wide. It's been much better from Liverpool just in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Endo, Gravenberg in the centre circle. The muscular figure of Virgil van Dijk, who was absolutely furious on Sunday. Into McAllister, wide to the left. It's picked up by Gakpo, who runs at the defender Porro. Tries to crash a shot through the 18-yard box at a 45-degree angle, but Porro will get it clear. But Tottenham aren't getting out now. Liverpool putting them in a little bit here. Van Dijk, Tsimikas, back to the goalkeeper Alisson, and then Tottenham push up towards the halfway line. Gray's a little bit deep and Spence deeper than Dragusin. So they've got to be careful with the ball over the top. Giving it away though, Liverpool, to Kulusevski. It's been a very scrappy game, and there's been a lot of unforced errors.
But you were right, that ball over the top, if it had looked up, was absolutely on. Spurs had tried to press, and there was space in between Archie Gray and Jed Spence.
That's what they have to be careful of, because they are vulnerable to that by pushing up to the halfway line. Here's Gakpo trying to get in behind now, does that, bends the ball through the 18-yard box, comes to Mo Salah, gets it under control, but couldn't get the shot with any power. He should have left that for McAllister, really. He might have nudged it off to McAllister, and that would have been the better option for Mo Salah, but he tried to do it himself. McAllister gives him a bit of a glare, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right.
Yeah, again, another piece of sums up the first half, but Liverpool have definitely stepped it up. They've been much better in the last 5 or so minutes, and in one sense it's a positive problem, getting in each other's way inside Spurs box. At least they're getting there.
Salah trying to outmuscle Jed Spence. Jota just runs into Kulusevski. Jed Spence comes across. Bergvall gets hold of it now. He starts to stride up to the halfway line. We've played 4 of the added 11 minutes at the end of this first half. It's still 0-0. It's still very 0-0. Here is Basuma, infield to Bergvall. Might try to tee this up for John's right side of the area. Gets into the box, comes on his left foot, blocked by a combination of Van Dijk and Tsimikas. And McAllister then gets the ball half clear, but only as far as Kulusevski. Pedro Porro wins it, falls over. Jota wins a tackle, a duel with Kulusevski, then feeds Gakpo, and Salah wants to get away, but Spence is wrestling with it. Ref says play on, it's gone to Gakpo, shoots at the goalkeeper and mishandled it, and then Anthony Kinski recovered enough to keep hold of it, just in the nick of time. You have to be careful with these Carabao Cup balls, they do all sorts of things.
Yeah, Adrian hasn't brought that up yet, I'm sure he will at some point, but great play from Gakpo, showing strength and pace and power, and thinking, do you know what, we must be close to half time, let's have a pop. And Kingsley in the end does well, because it's bouncing and just, it is moving for sure. And he gets enough behind it, but it goes underneath it, fortunately for him, just literally within half a yard, not 5 yards behind and into an empty net.
Ball over the top for Son. He brings Endo and Van Dijk, then sends it out to the left for Solanke's on the attack. Tottenham gets to the byline and then mishandles the ball, just befuddles himself, and it goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. But I think, bearing in mind that he hasn't had much to do, Anthony Kinsley rather involved in the opening half of his Tottenham Hotspur career.
I can definitely see why Ange Postecoglou has signed him, for sure.
Jota, after Salah let the ball run, then squeezed it out brilliantly out to Gakpo. What a fantastic ball that was, and the Dutchman picks it up, tries to take on Porro, and that's brilliant one-on-one defending by Pedro Porro, who then turns it against Tsimikas, and it goes out on the right-hand side. I mean, we've mentioned that some of the players have been scrappy, but also there is a bit of this game where these two sides are almost cancelling each other out.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think a lot of it has been scrappy, Sam, I really do. And not a lot of players have played to their potential, but yeah, I agree. Both were thinking, trying to be very attacking, but both actually defended each other, and you say, I think it's a good way of putting it, cancelled each other out.
For this one, isn't it, really?
Well, look, if it stays like, if it
stays like this, it'll be a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but if we don't see someone getting on top or playing how we know that they can, it's going to end up 0-0. This first half, you said it, it's not just 0-0, it's very 0-0. Need people to step up in the second half, but I do think it will get better.
Well, the good news is whatever happens, if it stays like this, we'll have a brilliant second leg.
Yes, I think it is a first leg affair right now.
Here's Gakpo over on the left-hand side. On the overlap is McAllister, but he shoots himself instead and goes right-footed towards and got underneath it and sent it out over on the far side. He has scored goals than anybody else since his arrival in September 2023. He's got a very good goal against Manchester United at the weekend. That was just a little bit off radar.
Yeah, wasn't dissimilar in terms of coming in onto his right foot. He was a little bit further out, but not as close to the goalkeeper. And in the end, it went just over.
Well, the most entertaining thing we've seen in the opening 52 minutes that we've had so far, and we are still in the first half here because we've had significant injuries to Bentancur and Quansah, is the entertainment that's come from the goalkeeper at the other end of the field from where the ball is right now. It's deep in Liverpool territory. Anthony Kinski, who signed for 12.5 million from Slavia Prague, has been quite entertaining with his feet. Had a few moments where he tried to juggle with it. He lifted it over Jota's head and caught it above the Portuguese.
Got away with that one.
Done a Cruyff turn. He's pinged him for Son, which was beautiful. Here is Bradley. Almost dropped it behind himself from a long shot. Bradley into the box, away by Dragusin. Mopped up by Jed Spence. And then Tottenham have it deep inside their own midfield with Busuma. Out to the near touchline and Spence again. Into the central area. Pedro Porro picks it up. Tottenham encouraged to come forward. Here is Porro. Round the corner from Johnson, looking for the run of Kulusevski. Didn't come off, it was blocked by Liverpool. And it's cleared away. Here's Kulusevski on halfway. Liverpool, so far this season, have been imperious, but it's more difficult tonight. Ball played by Spence into the left wing position for Son. Son with a cross, it's deep into the penalty area. Bergvall with a header, but it's going to be an easy catch for Alisson. No real power in it, just sort of looped up into the air and into the arms of the Brazilian goalkeeper. Away to our left-hand side. No one has won this cup more than Liverpool. Twice in the last 3 years. They've won more League Cup semi-final ties than any other team. They've won 14 of the 19 that they've played. And they haven't kicked into gear yet. And actually, I wonder if that's more Tottenham than it is for Liverpool, because Liverpool are one of the best teams, if not the best team in Europe right now. Certainly they've won more games than anybody else. And the fact that they've not hit their stride and Tottenham haven't taken advantage is a bit of a missed opportunity. Here is Salah in the middle of the Tottenham half, spreading the ball out to Jones. Jones inside the box now. Gakpo back into the centre, looking for Salah. Cleared away by Spence, but only as far as Jones. Jones needs some support. Tottenham have got back inside the penalty area and tried to keep their shape. It goes back to Jones, then to McAllister. Jones again trying to steer it round the corner. Spence away. The pressure still comes from Liverpool without really doing anything to trouble that back line, but they're keeping the ball in front of the Tottenham penalty area. 55 gone, so we're almost into the final minute of added time. Ball into the box. It's away by Jed Spence, but it doesn't go very far. It's coming back again. Liverpool trying to finish this first half strongly. Endo out towards the right hand side. Bradley then into Gravenberch, who drops in to that midfield position. Endo again now back on the edge of the centre circle, looks up, finds Gravenberch back to Endo. A little bit slow, not moving the ball fast enough, Liverpool here, as they try to get it up in towards the edge of the Tottenham penalty area. Wide it goes now, and it's on to Tsimikas. Tsimikas in field, bit of space here for Gravenberch. How's he going to use it? Trying to play it down the left channel. It's cut out by Pedro Porro, but again, Liverpool win it back through Jones, and then on to McAllister. And now Gakpo inside the area, gives it to Jota. Jota turns, fires. It's blocked by Dragusin, and then out comes Porro, and the ball shepherded behind and away for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. And Liverpool just starting to flex their muscles again.
Yes, they are. They're trying to get into the final third, and even if they lose the ball, they want to win the ball back quickly. It's exactly what happened there.
Well, Tottenham's last 5 home games in all competitions have produced 30 goals, an average of 6 goals per game. Tonight, we've had none. But we have had 2 significant injuries, and we do have to wish our best to Jaro Quansah, who came off ill in the first half, and Rodrigo Bentancur. We had 11 minutes of stoppage time, but the most entertainment we got was Antonin Kinski going through his repertoire of tricks. Kinski, who is making his debut in the Tottenham goal tonight, has kept a clean sheet so far.
هذا الشوط الأول بين ليفربول توتنهام 0-0. أتلتيكو بلباو خسر أمام برشلونة 2-0. سجل جافي ويامال. دوري اسكتلندي كليمارنوك متعادل مع ماذرويل 0-0. متقدم على ديندي يونايتد 1-0. كأس الاتحاد الإنجليزي روشديل متعادل مع ستوكتون تاون 0-0. كأس الدوري البرتغالي، بنفيكا 3 سبورتينغ براغ 0. إذن رسميا بافل نيدفيد مديرا رياضيا لنادي الشباب السعودي. أعلن نادي الشباب السعودي بشكل رسمي تعيين التشيكي بافل نيدفيد نجم فريق يوفنتوس الإيطالي السابق في منصب المدير الرياضي الجديد للنادي، هنيئا له الأموال. ورحب النادي بنجم يوفنتوس، وقال عبر حساباته على موقع التواصل الاجتماعي: البلندوري بافل نيدفيد يبدأ فصلا جديدا بالأسود والأبيض. يعني حتى في يوفنتوس ولم يكن رئيس نادي رياضي. ويأتي تعيين نيدفيد في منصب المدير الرياضي لنادي الشباب بعد تولي التركي فاتح كريم منصب المدير الفني للفريق خلفا للبرتغالي فيتور بيريرا. وباولو بافل نيدفيد يملك بافل نيدفيد صاحب 22 عاما مسيرة طويلة رفقة منتخب تشيك، حيث شارك خلال 91 مباراة دولية ضمن جميع البطولات التي نافس عليها خلال الفترة من 94 إلى 2006. كما أنه الدوري الإيطالي عبر تاريخ المسابقة المحلية، حيث سبق ولعب للاتزيو من 1996، ثم انتقل إلى يوفنتوس عام 2001 وارتدى قميصه حتى 2009. لوكا مودريتش لن يأتي مثله في كرة القدم. في عالم كرة القدم هناك بعض يعتبرون هدية العمر للأندية والجماهير على حد سواء، هؤلاء الذين لا يتكررون في التاريخ. لا شك أن لوكا مودريتش أسطورة نادي ريال مدريد هو واحد من هؤلاء اللاعبين. كرة القدم تتذكرهم طويلا فهو لاعب استثنائي بمواصفات فنية وقيادية تجعل منه عنصرا فريدا في تاريخ اللعبة. منذ انضمامه إلى ريال مدريد في 2012 خاض لوكا مودريتش أكثر من 400 مباراة مع الفريق في مختلف المسابقات. استطاع أن يسجل أكثر من 30 هدفا وصنع أكثر من 80 هدفا لزملائه، وحقق العديد من الألقاب المحلية والدولية. مشاركته في المباريات الكبرى كان لها تأثير كبير في تحقيق نجاحات الفريق على مدار السنوات. Then رابطة الليغا ترفض الإجراء الاحترازي لقيد أولمو وباو فيكتور. أصدرت رابطة الدوري الإسباني الليغا بيانا رسميا بشأن قرار المجلس الأعلى للرياضة بمنح برشلونة الموافقة على قيد داني أولمو وباو فيكتور ثنائي الفريق في قائمة النادي الكتالوني. وسبق وأعلنت رابطة الدوري الإسباني والاتحاد الإسباني لكرة القدم رفض قيد الثنائي، وبالتالي عدم مشاركتهما رفقة برشلونة خلال النصف الثاني من الموسم. وفي بيان رسمي أصدره موقع رابطة الدوري الإسباني الذي جاء كالتالي: علمت رابطة الليغا بالقرار الصادر عن رئيس المجلس الأعلى للرياضة، والذي قرر دون منح الليغا أو الاتحاد الإسباني لكرة القدم فرصة الاستماع قبول التدبير الاحترازي الذي طلبه نادي برشلونة واللاعبان داني أولمو وباو فيكتور، اللاعبين ساريا حتى يتم الفصل بها بشكل نهائي في الطعن المقدم من المذكورين ضد قرار لجنة المتابعة الخاصة باتفاقية تنسيق الاتحاد والرابطة. المغرب يبلغ نصف نهائي دوري الملوك. حقق المغرب تأهلا مثيرا إلى نصف نهائي دوري الملوك على حساب الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية بعد سيناريو مثير في آخر الأنفاس. وتفوق المغرب على نظيره الأمريكي بركلات الترجيح الملوك بعدما انتهى اللقاء بالتعادل الإيجابي 7 أهداف في كل شباك. ورغم تأخر المغرب في النتيجة منذ الوهلات الأولى من عمر اللقاء، إلا أنه تمكن من العودة في النتيجة واستفاد من قاعدة الهدف الذهبي الذي تم تسجيله ما بعد الدقيقة 38 وفق قوانين البطولة. وبهذا الفوز المثير يكون المغرب قد حقق 3 انتصارات متتالية في البطولة الحديثة، رأسها جيرارد بيكي مدافع برشلونة السابق. ورغم البداية المتعثرة أمام كولومبيا في مستهل المشوار، أطاح المغرب بفرق أوكرانيا، اليابان، ثم الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية خصم المغرب في نصف نهائي دوري الملوك. ويلاقي اسمه كولومبيا في نصف نهائي المسابقة الحديثة بعد تفوق زملاء خميس رودريغيز بدورهم على أوزباكستان في ربع النهائي. جميل. وخمولي. حلم بطله ميسي. كيف أثبت نيمار ندمه على مغادرة برشلونة؟ أثبت البرازيلي نيمار دا سيلفا نجم فريق الهلال السعودي بشكل غير مباشر ندمه على مغادرته لصفوف فريق برشلونة الإسباني في الماضي. نيمار إلى صفوف نادي الهلال خلال فترة الانتقالات الصيفية قبل الماضية لعام 2023 قادما من فريق باريس سان جيرمان. وقد جاء نيمار إلى صفوف نادي الهلال خلال فترة الانتقالات الصيفية قبل الماضية لعام 2023 فريق باريس سان جيرمان الفرنسي. وقرر نيمار الرحيل عن صفوف نادي برشلونة في عام 2017 لينضم إلى فريق باريس سان جيرمان في صفقة سياسية ظلت حديث العالم أجمع لفترة طويلة. ما رأيكم في هذا؟ وبداية الشوط الثاني. بين ليفربول وتوتنهام كأس الكارباو.
Record up until that point. We're back up. More changes at the start of the second half after the two in the 45. What are you hoping to see in this second 45, Scott Victor?
I think just players playing how we know they can. I don't think they've quite been at it. Liverpool, to be fair, stepped it up towards the end of that first half, but they're still not quite at the level of we've seen in all competitions so far. But this is a two-legged affair. Liverpool would be more than happy to not play that well and take it 0-0 to Anfield. And it's a one-off game at home. We know what the fans can be like there. I do think despite Spurs probably being just about the better side in that first half on balance, they really need to take at least a goal into that second leg.
You are listening to TalkSport, and we'd like to welcome our listeners from across North America on Sirius XM FC. Tottenham shooting in the second half towards the right-hand side of that huge raking south stand that goes up into the sky, the biggest single-tier stand in the country. Wearing white shirts, dark sleeves and dark shorts, attacking the goal away to our right. Liverpool all in red with white collars, attacking the goal away to our left-hand side. And their supporters are in the corner of the ground, directly opposite us, away to our sort of diagonal left. And they've been a little bit disappointed that the team haven't found their top gear yet. Here is Gakpo running into the channel on the left-hand side. Always difficult to do, especially in a month like this where they've got 8 games in 25 days. And they have Accrington on Saturday lunchtime, which is live on TalkSport as well. Simicast encouraged to take the throw quickly. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second. And here is Gravenberg, dispossessed by Solanke. Solanke trying to bring the ball clear. And then he finds Johnson. Johnson up over the halfway line. And Van Dijk comes across and tries to jockey it and does just that. Nips in front of him, pinches the ball, and leaves a little bit on him in terms of just stretches his arm out into his midriff. He gets winded by that, Johnson. The referee says play on, and he was right in front of the assistant on the near side. You could just see Van Dijk just edging up to him, waiting for the moment when he was going to strike. It was like a stalking his prey.
There's not many players that can almost give Brennan Johnson a yard and still make it up, and then just give him a little bit of dig as well. So ball and man, almost a perfect tackle.
Crossfield ball by Jones goes straight out of play down in front of us, and it's away for a Gravenberg. Actually goes straight out of play and goes out for a throw-in level with the technical area, which Arne Slot is standing in. Big coat on, just shouting at Jota and Gakpo to increase the tempo of the press. Kinski gets the ball back at his feet, the Tottenham goalkeeper, who's got Pedro Porro, Dragoshin, Archie Gray and Jed Spence in front of him. Johnson, Bissouma and Bergvall ahead of that. Then Kulusevski, Solanke and Son in attack. We've had one substitution because Bentancur, who is conscious, we're pleased to know, who came off in that first half. Alisson is the Liverpool goalkeeper. Bradley Canate now alongside, Endo and Simicast in the back four because of the early change that Liverpool were forced into when Jarrell Quansah had to go off. McAllister and Gravenberg and Jones in midfield, Salah, Jota and Gakpo going forward. This is TalkSport and we're live at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's not new anymore. It certainly feels it. It's definitely the newest on the Premier League roster. There is going to be another new superstructure opening very soon. The Everton Stadium will be open at the beginning of next season. There's a few chest events that are taking place in the upcoming months, and that will have over 55,000 people crammed into it by the time we start football next year. Hopefully they'll still be in the Premier League. Here's Bradley trying to get out of a tight spot over on the far side, being pressurised by Son, and then Bissouma puts it out for a throw-in over on the far touchline. Stuart Atwell just traffic back towards the arguing over where the throw-in's got to take place. The Tottenham fans aren't happy that Bradley has stolen a couple of yards.
He's done well though, Conor Bradley, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
You know, we talk about
tenacious in the tackle.
Yeah, you know, was Trent dropped? I don't know. But all you want is an opportunity for you to come in, or whenever he has come in that right back position, he's always played well.
Here's Jones on the turn, feeding the ball out of Salah far side. Bradley's got on the overlap. They decline that into the back post towards Cody Gakpo. And Salah's ball was just a little bit too high. Gakpo, who rose up beautifully, but still just couldn't quite reach it. Goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. Good chance.
Yeah, Mo Salah's got that look as if like, just overhit that just a touch. It looked like he was just about onside. And he would have been a free header 6 yards out as well. Unlucky.
Cody Gakpo, who has had a really good spell for Liverpool. He's scored in each of the last 3 games. It's his 7th start in a row. He's almost sort of cementing his place in the team now, Cody Gakpo. Van Dijk's just heading the ball out. And now Solanke's been told to go further back to take his throw in. And Postecoglou not entirely happy with the officials being so pernickety with his team. He gives a sarcastic clap and then shakes his head down in front of us. Ball thrown in by Pedro Porro into the surrounding Kulusevski. Basuma gets it back to halfway. The Liverpool players were saying the ball had gone out of play. It hadn't. And Tottenham progress. 51 on the clock. It's Spurs 0, Liverpool 0 on TalkSport. Son guides it back to Archie Gray. Gray, who's about 13 yards short of the halfway line. Into Dragusin. Dragusin down the right. Into Brennan Johnson. Johnson collides with Tsimikas. And then here. And the referee's given the free kick to Brennan Johnson. I actually thought Tsimikas got there first initially.
Yeah, Brennan Johnson is down now, isn't he? Looks like he's gingerly just about getting up. A good battle. Now what we're seeing, even though these two teams aren't quite in full flow as they have been this season, individually you can see there's some good battles all over the pitch, and that's certainly one of them.
Well, he did get there first, Tsimikas. The problem was that he then ran past the ball, and as he turned round, he tried to pull Brennan Johnson's shorts down, which is why the free kick was given. That crossfield ball from right to left has gone straight over the head of Son and gone straight out of play and away for a throw-in deep inside their own half. Bradley's thrown it into Jones. He's miskicked it, air-kicked it. It's hit his standing foot and gone back to Alexis McAllister. Cleared upfield, and then Gray will have it for Tottenham. He turns it into Johnson. Johnson in field to Basuma at the base of the centre circle for Tottenham Hotspur. It's 0-0. Here is Jed Spence galloping over halfway now into the left-hand side where he's a bit of space for Son. Son crosses the ball into the box, and it's a dangerous one. Enough to cause Liverpool any panic, and it's picked up by Alisson.
Yeah, just got to aim it sort of outside of the far post, whipping in so it allows not just Solanke but Brennan Johnson coming in, and then if they somehow miss it and Alisson just standing still, and maybe curl into the far post, so a little bit too close to Alisson, that cross.
On that Carabao Cup ball debate, haven't they been playing with it all season?
Yeah, but when you're dipping in and out, it still is a little bit different.
Different balls in the Champions League, no?
Don't know.
Yeah, I think there is. There must be, mustn't it? Because they're Adidas, and I'm sure that they're Nike in the Premier League. Liverpool taking the time over taking a thrower on the far side. Just interested.
I honestly don't think Arteta was trying to make a big issue of it, but just explaining why maybe the shots went over.
Ball is played out towards us, isn't it? Right, it's gone out again. The ball's been kicked out of play a couple of times too much, I think.
Doesn't explain why Havertz missed that header, mine, but...
that was an inexplicable header, wasn't it? Our producer's just whispered into my ear a little bit flat, and maybe it's a little bit heavy, and that's what's causing the problem. The ball's just bounced kindly for Gakpo from the throw, and he's got away from Basuma. Leads the charge out towards the right-hand side into Salah. Looks to poke it through, but Basuma's recovered enough to block the pass, and he comes to Bradley, and then he has to funnel back into the right-wing position and look to try and build again. We played after this. You're listening to TalkSport. Ball is with Endo. Out wide to the right. Onto Gravenberch. Oh, he's miscontrolled it. Salah. That doesn't happen very often. It's taken off him by Jed Spence, and he tries to get away, but Bradley is there. Puts the ball out. It's away for a throw-in to top. To our left-hand side. I think I might be clutching here, but I think we're a moment of magic which lights up this stadium tonight between now and 90 minutes, and that's going to give us a narrative for tomorrow.
Yeah, and look, the beauty of it, there is so much quality there. We just haven't seen it as much as perhaps expected, and certainly saw just 2 or 3 weeks ago. These players are capable of that, and it might just take that one bit of brilliance, and it needs to come from Spurs really if they're to stay in this competition, because if it does come from Liverpool and they go back up to Anfield in a month's time 1-0 ahead, I just don't see Spurs getting back into it.
Spurs' home form has been pretty shocking recently. They won here in the Carabao Cup in another disorderly game with Manchester United, but they haven't won here in the league since the 3rd of November. And Lucas Bergvall has put Alisson under pressure, and Alisson has just about got away with it, but not the second time. Pedro Porro with an open goal. Oh, he's missed it. He might get it back from Bergvall. Oh, he's completely screwed it wide. What on earth is he doing? Just hit the target. He's tried to clip it to the far post. Alisson Becker embarrassed by Lucas Bergvall, but Tottenham Hotspur do not give him pay. What a big moment that is in the semi-final. Pressurised by the Swede. He got out of it the first time, but not the second. Pedro Porro's first ever Blocked by Van Dijk, his second effort, he steered it wide.
Wow, well done Lucas Bergwall, because he's got in first time. Alisson's really lucky, he's trying to do a quick turn, but he's missed it completely, but Bergwall's gone past the ball, but quickly got up and nicked it off him. Somehow Bergwall's found the ball again, puts Pedro Porro in. And looking at pictures of Ange Postecoglou on his knees, he cannot believe it. Pedro Porro trying to sort of dink it towards the far post instead of just getting his head down and striking it. What a wonderful opportunity.
Ah, what a chance that was. Pedro Porro, who provides a near constant stream of crosses, had a really difficult game in the league against Liverpool. I mean, who didn't? What a chance it was to put Tottenham in front in the semi-final first leg. Here is Jones. Square to Virgil van Dijk. Listen there, far too casual with the ball at his feet. And then, while getting a let-off really, then allowed Bergwall a second chance to nick it.
Yeah, so it's a well-played Bergwall. Brilliant. And that's what you want. Someone, you talked about someone to do a little bit of magic. That in itself is a little bit of magic. Just really trying to press, not just once but twice.
In the end, Porro couldn't keep it under his spell. And as a result, it's still 0-0. And there's still all to play for here. And there will be whatever happens, I think. I don't think anyone's going to run away with this tonight. Here is Tsimikas, playing it infield to McAllister. Spurs fans finding their voice at last. They get a sense that there is something here for the taking. This Liverpool team that have been so rampant this season and scored so many goals just don't look as potent as they have done, and credit has to go to that Tottenham back line. Let's be honest, there's only one member of that back four and goalkeeping unit that are playing in their regular positions, that have been playing regular football, that are first choice for this team, but they have kept the best so far, and they do deserve credit for that. Bergwall putting the pressure. He's full of energy, the 18-year-old. Upsetting Endo. Goes back to Alisson. He plays it this time to the Japanese, who slides it up to Jones. First time ball into Bradley. Over halfway on the right-hand side as Liverpool look at it. They start to accelerate down that right. Salah comes infield. Left-footed ball towards the middle of the Spurs half. But he overhit that really, and it was difficult. Well won back by Bradley. They won a free kick to Tottenham fans, but it was a well-timed challenge that by Conor Bradley. And off they go again. Bradley moves up towards the right edge of the penalty area. He's got Salah towards his right. Son has stayed down after the effects of that tackle. Salah into the near post, and Kinski's dropped it, but Jota can't get there. It was parried from under the crossbar by Kinski, but he was quick enough to grab it ahead of Jota. But I tell you what, I don't know if his heart was in his mouth, but mine was.
Yeah, ours up here on behalf of the 21-year-old. Salah's put the cross in, he's overplayed it, but it's one of those where, you know, he's going backwards, and if he doesn't just palm it down, then he'll carry the ball over the line. So he has to do it, but then you'll panic on his behalf, and if someone is able to read that, and I think it was Jota who almost did, actually it's quite calm play from the youngster, but now we have in our hands. Now we've got two teams really at it, both on a physical level, but also a technical level.
Triple threat from the bench. Alexander-Arnold on. Off comes John. On goes Darwin Nunez. On comes Luis Diaz. Off comes. We're still waiting. Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, perhaps not surprising. Curtis Jones, I think he's been great when he's played for Liverpool this season, but I think he's been quiet again today. But clearly, Arne Slot's not happy with what he's seen and believes that he can make changes and get a win. But this is what we're talking about, the intensity being a lot better, both teams going at it, and we're seeing chances now as well.
It started with Bergwall leading the press, didn't it? And all of a sudden, few changes for Liverpool, and there will be an added impetus. Wouldn't it be just the story of Alexander-Arnold coming off the bench to provide the bullets for someone to fire Liverpool into a first leg lead? Van Dijk and Solanke embroiled in a bit of a tangle. Solanke went down. Not sure how much contact there was, but the free kick was given. Then Tsimikas has pitched it, sent it out towards the left channel, and Nunez was chasing, but Dragusin got there first, and then Kinski doesn't kick it long. Instead, he tries to clear it. Nunez almost got to block the clearance, which went straight up to halfway. Comes back via Van Dijk. Taken down by Trent Alexander-Arnold, who switches it into the path of Jones. Back. He flicks it round the corner to Gravenberg. Back to Alexander-Arnold, who wanders forward and then elevates the ball elegantly out to the near touchline. Taken down by Luis Diaz. Diaz approaches the box. Tsimikas into the area, looking for Nunez with a header. And it's straight into the arms of Kinski. And grabs it high above his head. And another example of the just up the ante in terms of goal threat.
Yeah, it's a great ball in from Tsimikas, but it's one of those where Nunez just has to almost stand and jump and generate the power as well as the precision, and not an easy thing to do from 15 yards out, but the game really is starting to open up now, and I'll tell you what, both these goalkeepers are making it interesting to watch. Just trying to spice it up a little bit, aren't they, just to keep us on the edge of our seats like that. That's okay.
The next few away trips actually will test Liverpool, I think, and their impressive away record, because not only have they've got to come here for this semi-final, they go to Forest at the City Ground in the Premier League next week, and then Brentford straight after that. There is a cup game against Accrington on Saturday, which we will be at live, Adrian and I and Dean Ashton. 12:30 kick-off live on TalkSport. It's one of 11 commentaries from the FA Cup this weekend. Our FA Cup starts tomorrow night, Everton-Peterborough, live on TalkSport. Here's Nunez, down the right-hand side, into the right wing, tries to put it in towards the near post, and Dragusin actually did really well not to get involved there and allow that to run through to Kinski, who dropped on the ball on the edge of the 6-yard box with very little pressure from a red shirt.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether he said it in Czech or in English. Clearly there must have been some kind of communication.
I'll tell you what, he is a confident boy. I mean, he hasn't had much shot stopping to do tonight, but he's been excellent with his feet. I mean, he's been terrific that way. I mean, if you look back at his stats from the Czech league, he hardly concedes a goal. And that might be because of the team that he's in. It might be because he hasn't had to do too much in what is a really good Slavia Prague team. But, well, everything he's had to do, he's just about got away with tonight so far. He's been very confident. His dad was a great goalkeeper. He was a Czech legend, and he is an idol of his son. His son absolutely worships the ground he walks on. Want to be like him. And now he's playing in the Premier League. Here is Gravenberg, and then nudge the ball forward. It's cut out by Archie Garay, another impressive youngster for Tottenham Hotspur. He sends the ball beautifully out towards the near side, and Kulusevski gallops forward towards the right edge of the penalty area. He's got only a couple in the centre. One of them is Johnson, the other one arriving late is Solanke. His first cross is blocked, and it comes back out towards the near side, and Pedro Porro, Bergvall, back towards Porro, but it was a short ball which was cut out by Nunez, out for a throw-in. Archie Gray nicking the ball, stepping out of defence, and then playing it beautifully with the outside of his right boot into the path of Kulusevski. Terrific.
Brilliant from the youngster. And again, playing out of position as an 18. Big move coming from Leeds to London. The composure he showed, and then the quality of pass.
Kulusevski getting down the outside from the throw-in. He's got support from Bergvall. Can he get the cross in here? It's deep towards the far post, away by Alexander-Arnold. Up to halfway it goes. Tottenham win it back. Now try to forge a way forward. We played 20 minutes of the second half. It's still 0-0 on TalkSport and Sirius XMFC in the United States of America. Thank you very much for tuning in wherever you are around the world today. If you're going up and down the country in the UK, be careful, it's very icy out there. And we must send a message to our listeners in California, some of them suffering in the wildfires that have befallen that state in the last 24 hours or so. Our best wishes to you. Here is Tsimikas all the way back to Allison. Allison moving up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. To Wataru Endo. It's a risky ball, and Gravenberg does well to control it and get out of what was a really good tight press from Tottenham. Tsimikas switches it from left to right. Alexander-Arnold on halfway now. Funnels it forward into Jones. The first time ball out to Mo Salah. Salah back to Jones. Two waiting in the penalty area. It's come all the way through to Luis Diaz. All three defenders missed it. And then the ball is sent forward, takes a cannon off Bergvall and spoons up into the arm of Kiminski.
Well, this second half is a goal at least. Just thinking about that great bit of play from Archie Gray and the outside of his foot. Kulusevski could have gone as he was running down the right wing, thinking, oh, wouldn't it be great to to see a goal here, and just there, the football that Liverpool played from back to front, from right to left to right again,
Really
very nearly happened.
I don't know what Dragišić was doing. He completely missed the ball. It went right underneath his body. Space here for Luis Diaz. Oh, it's just been over here. A better ball there, and he was in down that left-hand side. Porro had gone further up the pitch, and there was space in behind. Alexander-Arnold just overcooked it slightly.
Yeah, his left foot's not quite as good as his right. Just overplayed it there, but the game really is opening up, isn't it? The first half had a sort of first leg feel to it, but now you get the feeling that Spurs know they need to try and get a goal. Liverpool's starting to play a lot better as well.
But both will feel that there's something for them to take from this, won't
Yes.
they? They'll see that the other isn't quite up to full tilt. Tottenham defending so much better than they have done over the course of the last few weeks. But can they keep that up for the whole 90 minutes? Here is Johnson on the near side, feeding it into Kulusevski. Out towards the right, he charges, gets up to the edge of the penalty area, tries to get on the outside of Van Dijk, and then tries to pull it through the box, but it's straight to McAllister. And then Luis Diaz is sort of tripped on this near side. He certainly was fouled by Bergvall. That's going to be a yellow card.
He is good though, Luis Diaz, isn't he? I mean, the way he just kind of sucks you in as a defender. He did it the first time, and then Bergvall went past Pedro Porro and just dinked it over Bergvall. It just makes people dive in, make people think they can win the ball.
Spurs have never lost a semi-final of the League Cup when they played the first leg of it at home. They've gone to the final 4 times out of the 7 times that they've played the first leg on their own patch.
I think Bergvall was feeling that he didn't actually make contact, but just the fact he was slide tackling in was enough for him to try and move out of the way, Luis Diaz.
I think the free challenge on Luis Diaz was probably a foul anyway. 68 gone, 0-0. This is TalkSport. And it's Sam has faced Scott Minto at the Tottenham Arena. Fortunate enough to sit right up high line and watching a beautiful landscape. It looks like one of those sort of VR headsets. It's such a great view. You can't quite believe that it's real. Here's Salah playing a lovely reverse ball into Nunez. First time shot saved by Kinski. Brilliant. Came out very quickly to meet the Uruguayan and made a very good save.
Brilliant save. Made himself big. Nunez realised he had to take that first time. The angle was tight, but any good goalkeeper, especially with that angle, makes it look almost impossible, and he did.
Lovely ball over the top of Salah to chase, but he's not going to get there because Kinski is out again. He's made a good start. Certainly endeared himself to the Tottenham Hotspur supporters. I bet Guillermo Vicario is not sitting as comfortably as maybe he would have been if it had been a different person between the sticks. Son into Bergvall on the half turn, trying to get away, plays it back to the a lot of touch of the ball tonight, but very good in that central midfield position. Corner by Brennan Johnson, enter Pedro Porro, his cross into the box, Solanke was covered, Endo was there, and even though he felt some contact in his back, he managed to get it. Nunez has done brilliantly to keep the ball in on this near side, stretching to reach a long pass forward. He's helped it back to Tsimikas in the left fullback position, and then it's into Jones, Gravenberg, and then he travels to the far side. Liverpool know they don't need to force the issue because they've got the second leg at home, but that's no guarantee. Well, their record this season has been so good. Johnson with a really poor ball forward, giving it straight back to Gravenberg after Tottenham have been gifted back possession. Now on the edge of the area, Nunez has got it, plays a 1-2 with Luis Diaz, then spreads it to the right-hand side. Alexander-Arnold with a first-time cross, headed away by Dragišić. Taken down by Gravenberg, and then taken back to halfway and Endo. The Liverpool fans urging their team forward now. 20 minutes to go, goalless on TalkSport and Sirius XMFC. The ball now with Jones, back out to the left. Taken on by Tsimikas. Left-footed ball, beautiful, through the 6-yard box, doesn't reach anyone. Then by Alexander-Arnold and cleared off the line by Dragišić. And then the follow-up by McAllister is narrowly wide. Well, what a block that was from Dragišić. He spared Tottenham's blushes there, and he stopped Alexander-Arnold from giving Liverpool the lead.
Oh, well, first of all, what a wonderful ball in from Tsimikas, just crying for to get on the end of it. It's gone all the way out still inside the box, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, we talk about his technique and how good he is on the ball, striking it first. Kinski, nowhere, no chance. Dragusin reading the situation, clearing it off the line, and then the ball comes back and he's diving header almost, making sure he didn't go in at the far post of that shot, but Trent coming so close. Listen, this is 0-0, this is a proper game now. The second half has been brilliant, both teams have stepped it up.
And here comes, looks as if he's a little bit injured, walking off on the near side. I don't know if that is the case or not, but he very quickly to go off there after going down on the far touchline. And I think it's Timo Werner who's going to come on, isn't it? Down in front of us, Timo Werner. And Dejan gets the armband as he exchanges high fives with Son. And on comes Werner to play on that left-hand side for Tottenham.
Well, I remember watching him play for Chelsea. Not a lot has changed, a lot of pace. Ambient defender's fullback's nightmare. Doesn't seem to have that composure in front of goal, but he can make an assist. I think he's very dangerous down the left-hand side.
Spurs still keeping their dream alive of giving Son what he craves, which is to end his time here with a trophy. That's something that was referenced yesterday by Ange Postecoglou. He has extended his contract, or Spurs have extended the clause in his contract that gives him an extra year. I think that was to prevent him from signing a new contract, a pre-contract agreement with someone on foreign soil. I know there were a few sort of sniffing around that. But he hasn't impacted the game as much as Son of old did. That's been the case for most of the season, really. Here is Alisson, deep inside his own half. Werner tries to press Endo. Bergvall goes in on Gravenberg, but he gets out rather easily, and the ball is sent towards his left-hand side. Tsimikas had to run in front of him, but no one challenged him for the ball, and he was able to get it on to Diaz, and then on the overlap he tries to steer it into the centre. It's blocked by Pedro Porro. Wasn't a great cross from Tsimikas this time. Diaz trying to win it back. Kulusevski goes across to help out Pedro Porro in the right fullback position. And again, it's red shirts all over white ones, and Luis Diaz sort of pushes Porro. The free kick is given in the right fullback position.
I've got to say, that's brilliant fullback play from Pedro Porro. First of all, defensively, almost a 2-on-1 situation with Tsimikas and Luis Diaz, and he made sure that he stopped the cross. And then a few seconds later, when he's got the ball, again, he's got two players on him. Nicks the ball past, wins the free kick, relieves his team of pressure.
And Postecoglou's former team have won tonight. They've beaten Dundee United 2-0 Celtic in Scotland in the Premiership. Here is Dragusin, whose block on the line was incredibly important for Tottenham, and he's now driving up the field and trying to release his teammate. He's now got to get back into position because he's given the ball away to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and then McAllister, who's trying to funnel it forward to Salah, and it's cut out by Gray, who's then found Timo Werner, who's got away from Alexander-Arnold. He's got into the penalty area, down the outside, and gone to a near post, which wasn't really the area in which he could do any damage, and he just slams it straight into the side net, with Solanke waiting in the middle.
Well, if you want to sum up Timo Werner, that was pretty much him. You can see his first touch was decent. Trent Alexander was almost trying to pull it back, but couldn't even catch him. Great pace, goes down the line, and then again, I talked about that composure, just not good enough. I'm telling you, you ask any defender, they'll play against him because he can make you look stupid. But in terms of being effective for the team, he hasn't got that top-class quality.
Luis Diaz takes the ball down and then runs at Pedro Porro and then tries to get beyond Kulusevski, who just gets a foot in, but it takes it into the path of Darwin Núñez on the edge of the area, and then Diaz tries to just curl it into the path of Salah, but it's overhit and it floors behind and goes out for a goal kick away to our hand side. You're listening to TalkSport tomorrow morning on the TalkSport breakfast. Alan Brazil's back 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Make sure you tune in for all the usual fun. And they'll have Ashley Young and Tyler Young on tomorrow ahead of the Everton game. Oh, there's a problem here for Kimski under pressure from Jones, who did well. It's a good ball then out by Kimski to get out of that grip from Jones, and then up to Solanke, who got a good header on. Tottenham are in possession again. 15 minutes to go. Is there going to be a winner in this game? 0-0. Never a 0-0 at Tottenham. Ball forward, in behind is Solanke, running behind that Liverpool back with a super finish from just inside the box. Spurs so desperate to win something, and that will help. He scores. Liverpool complained there was an offside in the build-up. You might be right.
Yeah, they might well be right, and obviously we had VAR as well, don't we? The referee's assistant kept his flag down. In the semi-final there is VAR, and this could take a bit of time, Sam. We know they're not the quickest.
And we are going to get an explanation from Stuart Atwell, who will tell us on the loudspeaker here exactly what it was if he has to explain it. They're checking a goal for possible offside. I've seen the replay. I mean, it's really, really tight. Really tight.
It's between. He's the other side of Endo, but it's whether Trent behind him has kept him onside or not. You know, it's actually quite close to where the groundsmen have done the line, so you can see he's definitely in front of Endo, goal side, but is he where Trent is? As Trent, as a fullback, should be looking along the line, making sure that the centre-back is the last man, and talking to him all the time.
Well, Stuart Atwell says, I'm going to tell you what's happening in a minute, so you don't need to come over and ask me, just wait and then find out. I mean, he looks onside to me. He's offside, I think. Yeah, he's offside. He's offside. Stuart Atwell. For the first time, a referee about to announce a decision in stadium. Get on with it.
We've just seen it saying offside.
Yeah, but they haven't told us yet in the stadium. And they've come, the supporters have no clue. It's definitely offside.
What's he waiting for though?
I don't know.
They don't like it.
Well, that was Stuart Atwell explaining the decision. I mean, he decided to blow the whistle when his mic went live, which, you know, from a technical point of view, could have blown the speakers.
Burst my eardrum.
0-0 is the score because that goal has been chalked off.
It's a shame as well. It's a shame. The game deserves it. I think Spurs deserve it.
Yeah,
Blank deserves it.
So it's 0-0, and we're back to all square, and Liverpool on the attack again with 10 minutes to go. Here, given away by Trent Alexander-Arnold. Jed Spence into midfield, onto Bergvall. Tottenham thought they've got themselves in front. I wonder what the manager's going to say about that afterwards. You'll be able to hear the interviews on the Sports Bar. 03717 2233 44. The boys in business tonight from 10 o'clock when we finish here. And we might be a little bit late tonight because of the 11 minutes that we had added at the end of the first half, and we'll have a couple at the end of this.
Good luck with the interview, by the way.
It's fine. Listen, he's a nice bloke, we'll be fine. Canate's about to come on. So who's coming off? Alexis McAllister. I think you were just wishing me a bit of luck with a sprint downstairs, weren't you?
No, I know you can do that bit.
But it's cold out there tonight. I might pull my hamstring on the way down. Well, the way things are going tonight, someone's got a significant injury going down those stairs. 10 minutes before the end of the game. It's 0-0. No team in Europe has won more games this season than Liverpool. They're always a threat right to the end. They always find a way to win. They have the best away record of anyone. They've scored more goals than anybody in the Premier League. And they have the ball here with Luis Diaz, and it's on to Curtis Jones, edge of the area, trying to get into the box. Across comes Basuma, good team by him. I do think that the change of formation, slight change of formation tonight, that extra body in midfield, especially in the first half, helped out. And although that has had to be altered with Kulusevski being moved around a little bit, it's still been from Spurs tonight. Oh, Garcia Gray and Kimsky, a little bit of confusion as the ball played down the right channel. Gray got there ahead of his goalkeeper, but then collided with him and took him out for a couple of seconds. They're back on their feet now, and Tottenham have the ball by the corner flag. Basuma, back to Gray, trying to clear. It's over Solanke's head, and then Canate comes across and pushes it out over on the far side. He's gone into the back line and Endo's gone into midfield after that substitution.
Sam Archie-Gray, again, you know, he does exactly the right thing. He's clearly not had the shout behind him from Klinsky. So he's got to go for that challenge in the first place. And then they got it in the corner. It's 3-on-3. Plays little 1-2s and then a really good ball over the top as well. He knows exactly what to do. He's so mature for 18.
He's terrific. Terrific footballer, but Leeds United fans would have told you that from the minute he was transferred. Tottenham were getting a bargain. Here is Alexander-Arnold into Endo, scooping it on towards the right, asking a lot of Salah, who's not going to be able to keep it in over on the far side. It goes out for a throw. 82 on the clock, and it's a more robust performance from Tottenham tonight, which has stopped Liverpool from scoring. And that doesn't happen very often at all.
What, that Liverpool don't score or that Tottenhm don't concede?
Let's go with the positive, that Liverpool don't score. Tottenham are doing well with their defensive work. Here is Jed Spence onto Werner, into the penalty area, trying to take on Trent Alexander-Arnold, flips across into the box, headed away by Van Dijk. Oh dear, no one went out to meet that, and it's given back to Jed Spence rather easily. Now a chance for Werner. Werner to the edge of the penalty area, looks to try and take on Alexander-Arnold, hesitates too long, did squeeze it to Jed Spence, and then gets it back again. Bergvall to Spence, left side of the box. No one really showing any dynamism to get the ball in the box. Kulusevski will certainly do that. He turns, spins, gets the ball into the 6-yard box, but Alisson gets there ahead of Dominic Solanke, and it's cleared away. That Solanke goal ruled out for offside, and now Liverpool coming forward, trying to take the game to Tottenham. Nunez, Gravenberg in space, running to meet in the edge of the area, cracks a shot straight into the arm, Kinski. He was 20 yards from goal, if not a little bit more. He really caught it, but it was straight down the throat. Tsimikas has got a problem on the touchline here. The Liverpool bench is not happy. The Tottenham bench responding, but it's not Slot and Postecoglou. It's their assistants that are having a bit of a shouting match from inside the technical area. Virgil van Dijk is having a word with Stuart Atwell. Stuart Atwell now walking out into the middle of the pitch as the medical staff are allowed to get some attention, but it's Lucas Bergvall who committed that challenge, and Van is pointing out that Bergvall's already been booked.
He is. He's on the yellow already, and that is actually another yellow card. He's gone for a sliding tackle. He's not got the ball. He's got the man. And the fact that Tsimikas is still down getting treatment is a little bit immaterial, but it's a mistimed tackle.
Is it churlish for me to say if it was a fair and even playing field? Tottenham were down to 10 there.
You're a bad kid, you.
I'm joking. We can all laugh. That's what football's all about. A bit of banter, isn't it?
Absolutely. But look, this second half deserves goals. For sure. From both sides as well.
Yeah, Tottenham will be really disappointed actually that goal was chalked off, because to go up to Anfield with a 1-goal advantage after this first leg, that would feel about right, I think.
That would almost make it, I think, just 60-40 in Liverpool's favour. 0-0. Obviously at Anfield in a month's time, they'd absolutely take that, a one-off semi-final to get into the final.
Well, it's great for us, and we're looking forward to doing those two semi-finals, Newcastle against Arsenal, and Arsenal trying to go hell for leather to get back from 2-0 down, and now this one, which is finally poised as we go into the last 5 minutes. And this is Solanke setting up Bergvall! Brilliant from Tottenham. Solanke tees up Lucas Bergvall, who gets his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur, and it is a mega goal, a mega important goal, a brilliant finish from just inside the box, and Lucas Bergvall, the stellar Swede, who has been sensational for Spurs over the last couple of weeks, has popped up with a really important goal for Ange Postecoglou, and Tottenham deserve this. They lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, a couple of bits of brilliance. First of all from Dominic Solanke, brilliant centre-forward play, running the channels, holding up the ball, perfectly weighted pass.
The problem being, of course, is that should he be on the pitch?
That's what I was going to come to. Bergvall, who finished it, a great run and then a great finish, but just literally seconds before, I genuinely think you don't want to see players getting sent off, but it's a yellow for what he did, and there for a second. I don't believe he should be on the pitch, but he is. And the bottom line is the Liverpool midfield did not run with him. The back four couldn't handle it. It was a great ball over the top. It's just brilliant centre-forward play from Solanke. Running the channel, holding Konate off, laying the ball inside, seeing who's there, and no one has gone with the runner. It's a great run, it's a great finish, but he shouldn't be on the pitch in my opinion.
Lucas Bergvall, who could have been sent off for 2 bookable offences, pops up to score the winner. They say these things even themselves out over the course of the season. They might have evened themselves out, Grant Postecoglou, over 5 days.
Are you formulating your question right now?
Here is Luis Diaz down the left-hand side, cross deep towards the far post, doesn't reach his intended target, flicked away by Werner, comes back to Gravenberg. Then it's on towards the right-hand side, and it's picked up by Alexander-Arnold, who tries to get into the box, can't do so. Sends it to Mo Salah, right side of the area, takes on Jed Spence. His ball into the area is cleared away by Basuma, and it's out towards the far side. Now Liverpool going to wrap it now. They've only been beaten once this season by Nottingham Forest, but they're behind against Tottenham Hotspur. And Tottenham, who have struggled in games recently, are about to get a victory which will certainly lift the mood amongst their supporters and their manager. Can they hold on to it? Van Dijk. Then on to Endo. Back infield to Konate. Straight out to Alexander-Arnold. The cross is blocked. He gets a second chance to get it in. He's headed away by Arnold. Comes back to Tsimikas. Left side of the area. Liverpool pressure now. On to Diaz. Tsimikas. His cross into the box. Steered away by Basuma. Away by Solanke further. Chested down by Van Dijk halfway inside Tottenham territory. Back out wide it goes to Luis Diaz again. Diaz on to Tsimikas, left wing position. Bending cross towards the far post. Might come to Salah. Didn't see it in time. Missed it. Went through to Trent Alexander-Arnold instead. Here's Endo. Alexander-Arnold needs to get a decent ball into the box. He does that. Luis Diaz goes up with a header but didn't get it right. It's away by Basuma, and anywhere will do for Tottenham right now.
Do you know what, how many times have we said this where Spurs have scored and then game management has not been good enough? They have to make sure they keep this clean sheet. 1-0 and the tie is well and truly on. What I would say is Dominic Solanke's saying stay up. Don't be too tempted to drop off, because when that ball is just booted up, someone's got to be up there to try and challenge the centre-halves, otherwise the ball just comes straight back again. But this has been brilliant from Spurs.
It's a good finish from Lucas Bergvall. His first ever goal for Tottenham Hotspur. The last time he scored was his penultimate game in Sweden. But there will be a lot of discussion about whether or not he should have been on the pitch when he struck that into the net. And Postecoglou celebrated. Armstrong got a yellow card for his protest to the 4th official down in front of us, who is Tim Robinson tonight. Christian's got a problem away to our left-hand side. 03717 2233 44. Postecoglou goes over to Bergvall and says he's got to stay concentrated for the last few minutes here.
I think so. You can give your opinion.
It's double yellow card, isn't it? It's probably enough. But these things do happen in games. Of course they do. It happened to Dan Burn the other day. He probably should have been sent off in that match.
He should have been.
But he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
So, you know, it happens.
But again, this is... I don't like VAR, and I'm in the minority. I don't like the VAR the way it's done, but I still think it can be a good thing. But people who want the VAR to be out, you go with the referee's decision. The referee's decision at the weekend was Dan Burn doesn't deserve a yellow. I personally think he did. And then with this particular instance, no one wants to see anyone get sent off.
I suppose the first thing is, the first that he got the yellow card for, he didn't make any contact with the player.
No, but look, it doesn't have to be you don't have to make contact for it to be a foul. The question is, did it deserve to be a yellow card? Now, I would actually say the second one that wasn't given was more of a yellow card than the one that was. But when you're already on that yellow card, you can't really go down to ground. I do think he's fortunate to stay on the pitch, but it doesn't matter. Referees made that decision. It's 11v11, crack on. And it was brilliant from Spurs.
Sometimes fortune favours the brave, and he's been brave. He's been brave all night.
Yeah.
Here is Solanke, over to the far side. Werner trying to get down the touchline. Alexander-Arnold gets there. Liverpool fans won't be happy about it, though. They can have their say tonight on the sports bar. The boys ready for you. They're primed. Wonder what O'Hara and company are going to say tonight. They were in good form last night. 03717 2233 double four. Luis Diaz into Curtis Jones, then back across to Konate. Over on the far side, Liverpool got 7 minutes to try and get an equaliser, and Luis Diaz rises above the defender, and it goes behind. Was there a clash of heads in there? I think there was. And as a result of that, free kick has been given to Tottenham Hotspur. Pedro Porro just slowly, gingerly getting back to his feet after a clash with Luis Diaz. High ball came in from the right-hand side from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Do you know what? It's Trent at his best, isn't it? He gets the ball out. I played against David Beckham and he did a very similar thing. Doesn't have to go past you, just get half a yard, he whips the ball in. People can't come out and claim it.
I'm not sure there was any contact there. I don't think there was any contact from Luis Diaz on Pedro Porro.
He's absolutely livid. He's just seen that as well. There's no contact.
He just headed the ball and then went down. That should have been a corner. No, the Tottenham fans are happy. And they need a bit of a spell of happiness because it will ease the pressure on Postecoglou. It's just a second home winning 9. It's a timely victory. And it's only half time in the tie, but it's going to give them hope if they hold on. And there's still 5 minutes of added time to play. The 2 top scorers in the league. And go back over the course of this season. Liverpool have only once been stopped from scoring. You know the date, 14th of September at home against Nottingham Forest. They've scored in every other game. They might still score in this one. Jones onto Luis Diaz, down the left-hand side, bending it through the box. Oh, yes, with an acrobatic effort which is steered past the post by Kinski.
Wow, what a save again! Kinski, what a debut! It's a great ball in. How Darwin Núñez has been able to get that on target, it's some kind of contortionist, but brilliant play. It's still a wonderful save.
Acrobatic effort stopped by Kinski. Another chance to cross the ball into the box for Liverpool. Simicast with a chance to do so. Left-footed, an out swinger towards the back edge of the 6-yard box. Headed away by Solanke. Now, Kulusevski's got it, and it's a chance to break here. Puts the afterburners on and runs over the halfway line. Look at Brennan Johnson in through the middle. They've gone to Kulusevski instead. Gravenberg goes across. Gets there flippantly. And Darwin Núñez in a centre-half position goes and picks the ball up, kicks it long. It's a poor ball forward.
He thought he was a centre-half there and just larruped it. Instead of just pass it to the nearest person and get further forward. There's 4 Spurs players back. So again, well done to player forward.
How do you view this? Is this a Liverpool team that are slightly undercooked, or just a very good Spurs team finally playing to their maximum? And everyone now wants to be at their maximum when they're playing Liverpool because they're there to be shot at.
Well, look, Liverpool have not been at their best. This has been a better performance than it was against Man U, but not as good as it has been many times this season. But full credit to Spurs for this.
Here's Diaz down the left-hand side, bursting the box, and he just over hits the ball and it goes out and away for a goal kick away to our left. Pedro Porro says that Luis Diaz died there. I think he's got a point, by the way. And I think Diaz himself is suggesting that that is the case. And VAR just checking to see whether or not there was anything in this.
Well, when you're minutes away from losing 1-0,
just over kicked it.
It's absolutely. Pedro Porro, I think, has been superb. Again, I talked about you're not playing particularly well as a team. You've got your individual battle. If you're a defender, make sure your winger, your forward doesn't get past you. If you're a forward, try and bully your defender if you can. And the bottom line is, actually, second half, I don't think Liverpool played bad at all. The Spurs have been absolutely excellent. And I think just about deserve this victory. And from a neutral's point of view, this is almost the perfect scoreline.
Listen, big Spurs fans. This is great for Postecoglou. It'll only be the second defeat that Liverpool suffered since Arne Slot arrived at the club. There is time to reverse the damage though. It's not over. 1-0 is a slender advantage, especially when you're top. You've got a defensive record like they've got. Especially when you're coming up against Liverpool with the home record that they've got. But the League Cup holders are going to have to go to Anfield and climb a hill. Not a mountain, a hill. And climb they must. Dragusin. Over the top of the Liverpool defence, looking for Pedro Porro. Can Tottenham see it out? Luis Diaz keeps it on the near side and twists away. Now Jones, we're into the last 30 seconds here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And Tottenham are in front, but Diaz trying to stop that. Runs towards the edge of the area, then squares it for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's wandered into midfield. He needs a decent ball to the back post. Salah tries to get there. Jed Spence heads it out. It goes for a corner to Liverpool in the final 15 seconds of the 7 minutes of added time. Alexander-Arnold on the ball to take a corner to give Liverpool one last chance. And with the final kick of the game, can Liverpool arrest this death? Stuart Atwell watching on. Tries to call a halt to the push. Everybody apart from Gravenberg is inside their penalty area. And the kick taker Alexander-Arnold into the centre. Headed away by Bissouma. Comes back out to Alexander-Arnold. Needs to get it back in immediately. Onto his left foot. Delivers the cross. It's headed by Bergvall into the air. The goal scorer. Drops in the box. Falls kindly for Virgil van Dijk. Tries to tee it up. Endo cracks it. Blocked by Bissouma. Great defending by Tottenham Hotspur. Jones is down inside the area. They want VAR to look at an incident. The referee is playing on and Jones is getting back to his feet. Still they come for Liverpool, even though the clock has gone past nearly 98 minutes. We played nearly 8 minutes of added time. We were only supposed to have 7. Jones is back on his feet. Kinski's got the ball in his hands and Tottenham are seconds away from a famous victory. Well, the ball went into the box there and it dropped inside the didn't really catch Jones, and Tottenham are coming forward.